Hello YouTube land, I'm Frida and today I have a special guest, my friend Jabari on the rise. I wanted to get up close and personal so you guys can get to know the guy behind CVS and Dunkin uniform. How are you today, Jabari?
I'm well. Frida, thanks for having me.
That's all, Anyways, Jabari, introduce yourself for the viewers who don't know who Jabari on the rise is and your Sky Soldiers on the way.
Well, Frida, my name is Jabari. As you know, I am the creator of JabariOnDaRise. JabariOnDaRise is my entertainment side. It's more so the business guy. Jabari is me up close and personal who you know.
Alright, and what are the obstacles you have for the industry of Jabari on the rise with your Sky Soldiers?
Well, the obstacle I would have is getting my message out there. I have a message in mind that I really feel like the world needs to hear, needs to know and be aware of. And a lot of music, I've always been touched by music, and the music nowadays is not the same. So I feel like the music is going in another direction, so it's time for me to be like that black storm and change the game.
And how's your relationships with your family?
Family, I love my family. Family is important to me. Family is, my mom always say, we all we got. So family and loyalty, you know, I'm big on loyalty. So with my music, I want my Sky Soldiers to feel connected to me. And a lot of artists, you know, like have fans, and I don't consider my fans fans. They're Sky Soldiers, like we're in this together.
And would you consider, is that what you're wearing on your shirt today? Is that a family member?
Well, yes, this is my aunt. My auntie Red, she's actually the foundation of Sky Soldiers. I fast every Tuesday from 12 to 12, and something in remembrance of her. She was really big on religion. My family is very spiritual, so she's one of the reasons why I grind like I do.
And why is she part of your foundation?
Because all she did was spoke positivity, and that's what my music is about, spreading positivity, like positive vibes attract your tribe.
So positivity as in like
thinking positive, being able to chase a dream, low self-esteem, encouragement, empowering each other. Like I feel like that's what we were put on this planet for. We should all be like helping hands to each other. So I want to be that voice that can, for those who didn't have that voice growing up like me, I didn't have that helping hand growing up.
And what are your dreams and goals for your Sky Soldiers?
My dreams and goals for Sky Soldiers is for everybody to rise to the occasion. That's why my name is JabariOnDaRise. I want to rise and meet my level of success. We all have different levels of success, so you know, I want to be that guy encouraging you guys to do what you love to do. If it's dance, sing, modeling, whatever it is, I want to be that guy in your ear pushing you, saying you can do it, like a life coach in a way.
Life coach, like almost like a motivational speaker?
Motivational speaking is definitely the dream. That is the ultimate goal. That's my aspiration in life. My aspiration in life is to be happy. And you know, I'll be happy traveling the world, meeting people. I love hearing stories. I love talking to homeless people. I love just getting to know a person personally versus judging a book on it by its cover.
Now you're saying about talking to homeless people. There's a lot of people that are afraid of talking to homeless people. How do you end up confronting them or just talking to them casually?
Casually, I welcome a person in. I'm big on asking, how are you today? I love to ask a person how's their day going, because I get, like I said, I like to open a book and you tell me what's inside the book versus me reading the back of a book and prejudging you. So I never prejudge a homeless person that, oh, this person is strung out on drugs. People have stories, and sometimes people don't want to listen. Sometimes people judge a book by its cover, and that's not me. I want my Sky Soldiers to be that positivity, helping hand, helping people out.
And what is your goal from 5 years from now for your Sky Soldiers and your Jabari on the Rise label?
5 years from now, exactly what you said, a label. I never thought about a label, but to actually own a label of dancers, cheerleaders, football players, athletes, that's my goal, to see people share their testimony. I want Sky Soldiers to turn their tests into testimonies. That's what I'm doing. That's why we're here today.
All right. And do you want to go a little bit more into detail of your growing up?
Sure, ask away.
Okay, well, and how did it all start? Where did this all come from?
Well, growing up, my dad was a street pharmacist. He was very known in my area, Liberty City, Miami, Florida. And everybody in the community knew my dad. Like, he was very known, him and his friends. I wouldn't give him and his friends, you know. And when my brother was born, my brother was a junior, so my brother was well known as well. And I came into the light thinking the same way my brother got that attention, that I would get that attention. But it kind of went from on the rise to downscale because my dad was arrested and taken away to prison. So I was more so raised by my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt. So in elementary, I played the violin, the viola, and the cello. And I never, where I come from, people don't really believe in chasing dreams. It's like, it's a very urban community, and it's all about money, like to get out the hood. That is the goal, to make it out the hood, to get a job that can support your family. And you know,
and this is in Liberty City.
This is in Liberty City, Miami, Florida. And all you have to do is just Google Liberty City and you'll see the struggle, like where I come from. Growing up, I've always had my mom bust her butt, work job. She had to get a job when my dad was taken away. So, you know, I saw my mom struggle. I saw my mom provide for us, and it gave me that motivation, that drive. To this day, I want to retire my mom. I want to retire my grandma. Like, I don't like to see my grandma work. I don't like to see my mom work. I want to put in the work to be able to say, you know what, job well done, like that clap on the back, you know? Like, hard work pays off, and I want to be a blessing to my parents as well as my Sky Soldiers.
And how did it change you when your dad went to jail?
Well, I didn't have that connection that I seen my brother and my dad have, so it kind of put me into a shell. It made me a mama's boy. But like I say, playing the violin, the viola, and the cello, people didn't give me the recognition that I expected to get. When my brother played basketball and football, everybody glorified, he got trophies and stuff like that. But playing the violin and viola, you don't get trophies for. You know, I did a few concerts, you know, but it was never really glorified the way I thought. So I learned at an early age, expectation leads to disappointment. And playing the violin, the viola, and the cello, people always told me that's good, but it's not gonna make you any money. So I dropped it and I became into art. I picked up a new passion. I was accepted into Charles I. Drew Middle School, where I began to sketch. In the 6th grade, I drew my cousin's senior prom dress. That's how good I was, not to brag. But I never got any recognition from it. You know, like, I always felt like that was an accomplishment, but it never got glorified. Like I said, I always compared myself to my older brother. I always wanted to be like my big brother. I inspired to be like him because he inspired to be like my dad, you know, like the leader of the pack. And basically, when I never got that glorification, like that attention that I was seeking, I became overweight. My self-esteem began to drop. I'm the darkest, like my skin, I'm the only dark child out of 3 siblings. I'm the only one with the wide nose, like my dad's side of the family. So, you know, I had crooked teeth. Growing up, I was allergic to milk, so my teeth was pulled at a young age. I had these 2 teeth up here, these 2 teeth are down here, these 4 are all crooked, and these 4 were pulled. So my self-esteem level wasn't up there. Having girls come up to me and say, oh, your brother looks like Bow Wow, your brother. So it was like, what about me? You know, it was always, what about me? I never got that self-glory like I wanted.
And do you think that's affected you now?
It does. When I go out and I shop, I always ask myself, how will people view me? I never live life for myself. That's why my book is available on Amazon and Kindle. It's called 23 Years Behind Bars, because for 23 years I just sat back and I was like, you know what, I guess I thought my path was like led for me to be this good kid, go to school, do what everybody want, make the good grades. I never asked myself, what do Jabari want? I never did it because I always compared myself to others.
And do you want your Sky Soldiers to be different? Do you want them to?
I want my Sky Soldiers to rise to the occasion. I want everybody to know that we are all unique. We're all special in our own special way. I feel like we're in so much competition. Everybody wants to be the same and outdo each other. But if you focus all your energy on just doing you, you can be the best you.
So then what happened after elementary? You were saying you were in sketch, and then after that, what happened?
Middle school, after becoming overweight, I didn't realize I was overweight. Whenever my brother on my dad's side, whenever he would call me fat and people would laugh, I would not get the joke. I would even cry because he'd like just say, shut your fat butt up, and I'm like, I'm not fat. And one day I was taking a shower and I looked down and I realized, whoa, I had 3 stretch marks about that size on my side. And I was like, whoa, I knew when you're overweight you get stretch marks. And I looked down and I saw I had titties. I was like, wow, I really am fat. It was like a surreal moment for me that made me realize that, and that also fed my depression of the low self-esteem, and it made me kind of retreat even more into my shell.
So what happened? What got you out of the shell?
Religion. Honestly, I felt the world wasn't giving me anything but negative things. So, you know, I just turned to God. My family is very spiritual, and I turned to God, and I used to watch Laguna Beach. I was so in love with Lauren Conrad, and she was tweeting one day, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create a Twitter. I needed somebody to vent to, and I needed a username, and I never had a nickname, so I gave myself a nickname. I was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to rise. I want to be famous. Jabari on the rise.
And that's where it all started.
It stuck with me in the 7th grade. I got confidence. I ran for Mr. Drew, which is like the ambassador for the school, which I lost. I came in 3rd place. And I was just like, oh my God, how am I going to go back to school and face these kids knowing that I'm a loser? And you know, my high school, Miami Northwestern, I heard so many stories.
Sorry, Sky Soldiers, we had some slight technical difficulties, but now we're back live with Jabari on the Rise. So, we left off about telling us about your high school days. Go ahead and continue with that.
High school was, I would say it was like a fear. Because growing up, all my family went to Northwestern, and I heard so many great stories about it. Like, kids are on their game, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. So I was going through like, oh my God, I'm this chubby, overweight, crooked teeth kid, low self-esteem. Like, I just felt like I would like melt. I felt like I was gonna melt, like crack under pressure.
And but going through the sketching, then going to that?
It was a big transition for me because, like I say, everything that I had a passion for got shot down. So I started transitioning to what I imagined people imagine me to be. I started transforming myself into what others would want to see, you know? So that's why I kind of lost myself in a way. But when I went into high school, I just found that confidence, and I let me losing Mr. Drew build me. I took that and I ran with it. I ended up graduating as Mr. Northwestern, homecoming, prom, and I even won best all around.
What's Mr. Northwestern?
Mr. Northwestern is I actually have my stash on hand. I carry it with me. Like, that's something I hold to my heart. It's like, I feel like girls have pageants and guys don't. I feel like guys should, and that's one thing I'm gonna do with Sky Soldiers. I'm gonna have, like, they have Man of the Year. Like, why not have a competition for it? I work out. Imagine other guys out there who's working out and they might just like to look good. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like how Beyonce say girls rule the world. What about us guys? We do our thing too, you know? So basically in high school, I just lost weight. I got braces. I started wearing designers. Like, I fell in love with True Religion. Like, I just really kind of transformed into Jabari on the Rise. I built myself on who I wanted people to see me to be. But now that I'm older, it's like, I understand you can build who you want people to see you to be, but build that person because that's who you truly want to be. And once I learned that, I grasped high school and I conquered it. I feel like I conquered high school.
All right, and then what happened after high school? You went to college? Or
I attended TCC, Tallahassee Community College, which my god sister convinced me. I planned on taking a year off because for 12 years I did school for my parents. I just wanted to graduate, make them proud. Once I graduate, take a break. But it didn't work like that. I ended up coming up here to Tallahassee. I attended TCC, like I say, business administration. I knew I always wanted to have money to just live comfortable and take care of my family. My family is so important to me. So business administration, after I got into it and started taking the class, it was a lot of math, which I hate. I'm more of a reader and a writer. So I switched to early childhood development. I thought I'd be a great teacher, then become a counselor, then become a principal, making 6 figures. Realized that isn't what I want. So I had to find myself. I stopped school. I called home, told my mom, hey, I'm not happy. I'm good, drifting off back into this childhood depression, middle school age. And she told me, no, son, I support you at anything you do, and that's all I needed. I got my CDL license at age 19, and I was driving for the city of Tallahassee. I was the youngest bus driver up here, coach operator. Florida State Fam, UTCC, I drove the bus. And And after a year and a half, I was making good money, $10.55 an hour. I was like, hey, Mom, I paid my rent, which was $4.99. I went out and bought a car, $2.95 a month. Car insurance, $190 a month because it was in my name, all at 19. And after bills started catching up with me, I was like, whoa, I'm still a kid. Like, this is too much. I moved back to Miami in August. From August to December, I realized I got to make it happen. So I saved up my money. I got a job. Ended up moving back up here in Tallahassee in January. I got my book published on Amazon called 23 Years Behind Bars. I got my clothing line going, Dice by Jabari, and I just was happy. I was doing everything that I wanted to do.
What was it that had to be in Tallahassee? Why couldn't it have been in Orlando or Tampa or anywhere else?
I feel like this is a stepping stone for me. It's something I started, so I want to go back and finish it. So now I'm actually in my closing chapter. I'll be 25 in December, so I'm ready to close that chapter and a fresh start. New year, fresh start with my music and motivational speaking. I thought music was my calling, but motivational speaking is more of my calling, and music is just a hobby.
Is music going to be incorporated into your motivational speaking?
Absolutely, because like I say, the game is changing. Like I grew up on like listening to Cash Money, Trick Daddy. Like my ultimate goal in life is to make a song with Trick Daddy and Trina because that's who I grew up with, and Beyonce as well. Because as a guy, you know, a lot of guys don't listen to Destiny Child. We're being raised by my aunt and my mom. I grew up listening to Destiny Child, you know, so they have a spot in my heart as well. That's why I'm such
Which was your favorite?
You know, I'm a part of the Beehive. That's what I say. And
yeah, so which song is your favorite from Destiny's Child?
Soldier with Lil Wayne, T.I. Like, I just felt like I was a soldier. And you know, to this day, I never incorporated to rap now, but Sky Soldiers, like that song was like, I didn't even have a car, but I could just imagine myself bumping that song in my car. Like, whole song, I know it from front to start to finish.
So, what are you doing now?
Well, now I actually took time off to live life. If you check out my video on YouTube, it's called Living My Life. I produced it myself. My cousin actually produced it, recording wise. Lyrically, I wrote it myself. I shot the video myself. It's so many small things inside that video that is a part of me. The car that I'm in, that station wagon, my dad bought for me. Everything is all about me. You see my grandma in the video helping me get ready for the day of that shoot. We actually shot that video in 2 days. One day we shot everything, and the day before I was to leave to come back to Tallahassee. I woke up early in the morning. I was supposed to leave out around 12. I woke up like at 7 that morning, went over town, shot some scenes, and made it happen. I did my own video editing for that music, and all year I released it January 11, which you will see if you go back to the video. It tells you what it's about. It's about walking in faith. It's actually a biblical scripture. Verse 1.
I do remember seeing it.
Hebrews is actually in Hebrews.
Yes.
Yes.
I do remember seeing it in the video. I was kind of wondering why you had that scripture there.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. And if you actually pay attention to the release date, I released it since it was verse 1. Chapter 1, verse 11. I released it January 11th of this year, 2015. That way I have some significant meaning behind it. You know what I mean?
And what's the meaning behind it?
Living my life. I took a whole year off from school. I had to live life for myself. So I was battling. Like right now, I was working CVS 7 to 4. Dunkin Donuts 4 to 10:30. I was actually grinding, just networking, getting my name out there, letting people know what I'm doing with the movement. But now it's time for me to use those jobs as stepping stones. Yeah, they pay the bills, but I want to travel. And right now it's holding me back just working a 9 to 5. So I was like, it's time to I got to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? I got the ball for 'em, but the ball is in my court now.
So what is happening now? What's going on from here? What are the new projects that you're gonna offer?
Well, I get inspired. Kanye is one of my idols, and he told me the music that he loved, new artists who's different. You know, and I'm reading that about like a lot of artists love different. Think about when you're cooking. If everything tastes the same, you gotta add a spice to it. I'm that spice. The music game is sound the same. Everybody wants to be auto-tuned. Everybody wants to lie about owning Bugattis and Lamborghinis, and you're an upcoming rapper that you can't afford that stuff. So they're false. I feel like it's false advertisement. So I want to show the struggle. I want to show where I come from. I want to show my plans and let my Sky Soldiers see it unfold to give them hope that that's reality. right now a lot of people are living lives, and that's just not me. I wasn't raised like that.
And you said Kanye West was an idol of yours, but there's a lot of bad talk about him. Why?
I feel like Kanye is just free-spirited. He does what he wants, because a lot of times artists get critiqued. You have to live up. Like I said, I did that before growing up all my life. Let it flow. Like Rihanna, another artist I love, she does her thing. Like, she doesn't care what the world thinks of her. She's her. Kanye is him. He has, like, he say what he feels and he do what he wants. And another thing, he inspired me because he said he would go in the studio and give his best every time. Who are critics to say that's not your best? If I was feeling like that, you either like it or you don't. And I have that mentality now from watching his words of inspiration and words of wisdom. So now I have to put my own twist to it and do it. So what I'm doing, working on project, is this is my first EP. It's titled Me, because it's all of me. It's letting everybody know me. So I want to be the first artist to actually create a nice chorus, a solid verse that's gonna reel you in, and then play the chorus and cut it. That way the EP is more of a snippet, and when the video comes out, the video has the whole song. So now you are already familiar with the song, you know it, you love it, but now you're waiting in that video to let me watch this video, but let me hear verse 2. Like, is he gonna deliver verse 2? So that's what I'm working on right now. My EP is called Me. I released it on my birthday, December 30th, 2015 of this year. In January, you'll see the videos actually unfold.
Okay, and that's what we're looking forward to coming up soon.
Yes, my EP titled Me.
Me. Oh my God, that sounds so exciting.
It's very exciting. You don't understand, like, this is me, and that's why I get so excited. It's like me. I'm forming it, I'm making it, I'm doing me. On this EP, I'm doing me. And then my mixtape, it'll be called Me Too. That way the fans can feel like this is for me too. It's not me talking about me living my life. It's about us growing, the Sky Soldier empire building. You know what I mean?